Ever feel like your motorcycle dashboard is like stuck in the Stone Age? You've got your speedometer, fuel gauge, maybe a warning light that makes you sweat.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be amazing if your bike could just like tell you what it needed before anything went wrong?
It's like the difference between uh, having a parrot on your shoulder and a co-pilot in the cockpit.
Hmm.
That's essentially what Ride In is setting out to do, transform the way we ride and relate to our bikes.
Yeah, we're talking next level stuff here. And gotta admit, diving into their development plan has me seriously intrigued. Sensors, apps, the works. But let's start with the basics. What's the problem Ride-In is trying to solve?
Well, traditional motorcycle dashboards are all about reactive information. They tell you what's happening now,
Right.
but they don't offer much insight into the future of your bike's health, which can lead to some, shall we say, unpleasant surprises on the road.
Yeah, missed oil changes, mysterious engine noises. Let's just say I've been there. And it's not just about avoiding a breakdown, right? A poorly maintained engine isn't exactly doing the environment any favors either.
Exactly. A bike that's running rough is often pumping out more emissions than it needs to. Ride In aims to keep your ride smooth, safe, and environmentally conscious.
Now that's music to my ears. So how do they actually pull this off? What's the magic formula?
Data, data, data. But not just any data. We're talking real-time insights directly from the heart of your motorcycle.
Okay, I'm sensing this is more than just a fancy new app.
Oh, much more. Ride In is a three-part system.
Okay.
First, you've got the Ride In console. Think of it as your bike's new, digitally enhanced dashboard. It gives you real-time updates on everything from engine temperature to tire pressure,
Wow.
all displayed in a way that's clear, concise, and easy to digest while you're riding.
So no more squinting at tiny dials or second-guessing that flickering warning light.
Exactly. But the console is just the messenger. The real brains of the operation reside in Ride In Sync.
Hmm.
This little piece of hardware acts like a central nervous system for your bike.
Okay.
It gathers data from all the sensors and beams it up to the cloud for processing.
It's like my bike will have its own personal data analyst.
In a way, it will. But
Mhm.
the best part is you're not left out of the loop. All that data doesn't just disappear into the digital ether. It gets sent straight to your smartphone via the Ride In app.
All right, now you've got my attention. What can I do with all this data?
Imagine this. You're sipping your morning coffee miles away from your bike,
Okay.
and you receive a notification that your tire pressure is a bit low. You can check the app, see exactly how low it is, and even find a nearby service station to top it off before you even think about heading out for a ride.
That's incredible. No more mental gymnastics trying to remember if I checked the tire pressure last week.
Exactly. It's about giving you peace of mind and keeping your bike in peak condition with zero guesswork.
This is already blowing my mind, and we haven't even gotten to really cool stuff yet. Their development plan mentions things like enhanced safety features, proactive maintenance, heck, even environmental benefits. Break it all down for me. How do they deliver on these promises?
Well, let's start with safety, since that's always priority number one when you're talking about motorcycles. By giving you a real-time window into your bike's vital signs, Ride In empowers you to make smarter, more informed decisions on the road.
Okay, I'm following you.
Think about it this way. You're cruising down the highway and your engine starts to run a little hot.
Yeah.
With a traditional dashboard, you might not notice until it's too late. You see the warning light, pull over, and hope you haven't done any damage. But with Ride In, you'd receive a subtle alert on your console the moment the engine temperature started to climb outside of normal parameters.
So you could pull over, let the engine cool down for a few minutes, and potentially avoid a major headache or worse.
Precisely. It's all about giving you more control and awareness, which naturally translates to a safer riding experience. And this kind of real-time feedback doesn't just keep you safe on the road, it completely transforms how you approach motorcycle maintenance.
That was actually my next question. Their whole proactive maintenance system sounds promising, but how does it actually work?
Remember all those pain points we talked about earlier? The missed oil changes, the surprise breakdowns? Ride In wants to make those a distant memory. Instead of waiting for something to break, this system uses data to anticipate potential issues before they happen. Let's say you're due for an oil change, but you've been caught up in the joy of riding and completely forgotten it happens to the best of us.
You can't say I haven't been there.
With Ride In, you'll receive a friendly notification on your phone reminding you that it's time to show your bike some love. It'll even suggest nearby service providers based on your location.
That's incredibly convenient. And I imagine my mechanic will be thrilled to see me before my bike is making weird noises.
It's a win-win. But here's where it gets really fascinating. This system isn't just about keeping your bike running. It's about keeping it running at peak efficiency, which has some surprising environmental benefits.
I'm all ears.
Think about it. A well-maintained engine runs more efficiently, which means fewer emissions being released into the atmosphere. By helping you stay on top of regular maintenance, Ride In plays a role in reducing your bike's overall carbon footprint.
So a well-maintained bike isn't just good for my peace of mind and my wallet, it's good for the planet too. I like the sound of that.
And it's not just about individual riders either. This system has the potential to benefit a whole ecosystem of stakeholders, from motorcycle manufacturers to repair shops to investors.
Now we're talking big picture. I see how riders benefit. A safer, smarter, more convenient riding experience. But what about the other players? How do they fit into the ride-in vision?
Let's start with the manufacturers. Imagine the wealth of insights they can gain from having access to anonymized data from thousands of bikes on the road. They'll know which parts are performing well, which ones might be prone to issues, even how riding styles vary in different regions.
That's invaluable. They could use that data to improve their designs, develop more durable components, and create bikes that are truly tailored to how people actually ride.
Exactly. And speaking of tailoring the experience, let's talk about repair shops. Imagine a world where, instead of reacting to breakdowns after they occur, mechanics receive advance notice that your bike is showing signs of a potential issue.
You're saying they could proactively reach out to me and schedule a checkup before anything major goes wrong?
Precisely. They could have the necessary parts on hand, optimize their appointment schedules, and provide a level of personalized service that was previously unimaginable.
Wow, it's like you're describing the future of motorcycle maintenance. Sign me up. But with all this cutting-edge technology, there's bound to be some, healthy skepticism. What about investors? Are they buying into the ride-in vision?
Absolutely. Investors see this kind of proactive, data-driven approach as a game changer.
Okay.
Not just for individual riders, but for the entire motorcycle industry. They recognize the potential to reduce accidents, minimize downtime, even create new revenue streams through subscription-based maintenance plans or data-driven insurance products.
It's like they're not just investing in a product, they're investing in a whole new way of thinking about motorcycle ownership. Okay, so Ride-In has a solid plan, but even the best ideas need flawless execution. Their development plan outlines some must-have features for the system. What are we talking about here?
Well, first and foremost, data accuracy is paramount.
Right.
If the information displayed on the console and app isn't reliable, users will lose trust in the entire system.
Right. Nobody wants to be told their tire pressure is low when it's perfectly fine, or, worse, miss a critical alert because the data is lagging.
Exactly. And seamless connectivity between the bike, the app, and the console is non-negotiable. Riders need to know that the information they're seeing is up to date and accurate, whether they're on the open road or checking their phone during a coffee break. And that brings us to one of the most innovative features of Ride-In, the Ride-In Kick.
I was just about to ask about that. It sounds intriguing, but also a little mysterious. Give me the rundown.
This is where Ride-In transcends basic monitoring and ventures into the realm of personalized riding enhancement.
Okay.
Imagine you're approaching a particularly challenging stretch of road, a series of hairpin turns, or a steep mountain descent. Ride-In Kick analyzes your riding style, factors in real-time road conditions, and provides you with customized tips and recommendations.
It's like having a virtual riding coach, whispering advice directly into your helmet. This could be huge for new riders, still building their skills and confidence.
Absolutely. But it's not just for beginners. Even experienced riders can benefit from personalized insights, especially when it comes to, optimizing their bike's performance or adapting to unfamiliar terrain.
This is really making me rethink what's possible with a motorcycle. But all this data, all these features, it makes you wonder about privacy and security. What happens to my bike's data? Who has access to it?
That's a critical question, and Ride-In seems to be taking it seriously. All data transmitted between your bike, the cloud, and your devices is encrypted to the highest industry standards.
Okay, so that's reassuring. But what about all those personalized recommendations, the performance tracking, the maintenance history? It all seems a bit, personal.
And it is, but you're in control. Ride-In allows you to customize your data sharing preferences so you decide what information is shared with manufacturers, service providers, or even other riders.
Now that's what I like to hear. Transparency and control over my own data. So what's the bottom line? We've covered a lot of ground here.
Ride-in isn't just another gadget or a flashy new app. It represents a fundamental shift in how we think about motorcycle ownership. It's about forging a deeper connection between rider and machine through data, insights, and a level of personalized support that was unthinkable just a few years ago.
It's like taking that raw, visceral experience of riding a motorcycle and enriching it with a layer of intelligence and awareness. We're not just along for the ride anymore, we're active participants in our bike's journey. And our own.
Exactly. And as this technology evolves, who knows what possibilities might emerge? Imagine a world where your motorcycle learns your riding style so well that it can anticipate your needs, adjust suspension settings on the fly, even pre-warm your grips on a chilly morning ride.
Wow, now that's a future I can get behind. Great insights as always. This deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about. I have a feeling we'll be hearing a lot more about ride-in the coming months. Until then, ride safe, ride smart, and stay curious.